The description for Jingle Smells definitely seemed quite interesting. The title, I don't care for. The narrative, I guess it's interesting enough, but I wouldn't say it's a particularly good film. This was released in 2023. It's directed by Daniel Lusko and is written by Bart Scott and Logan Sekulow. And we have a cast including John Schneider as Dusty and Ben Davies as Nick. And Nick has to take a job as a garbage man, and he finds this whole stack of toys that are no longer being sold. They're not allowed to be sold. They've been taken off the market, and the children actually want these toys. So he decides that, well, IMDb describes him as Robin Hood of the holidays, basically taking the toys and giving them to the children. And honestly, when I read that description, I wasn't really sure what the narrative would be like, what the pitfalls would be, what the obstacles would be. And having watched it now, I can say that there's a decent amount of substance in the narrative. It's maybe not the best written, it's maybe not the most fascinating throughout, but it does manage to sustain itself pretty much for the duration. And in general, I would say I was never really bored. I wasn't necessarily loving it, but it was definitely, I'd say, more than watchable. The characters are really likeable, very well written, the performances are really good, and I was keen to see where it was going. It wasn't very clear what direction it was going to take. And I think that unpredictability definitely helped to make it a little bit more interesting. That being said, I didn't come away from the film thinking it was the best experience ever. The narrative definitely is slow in a lot of places, and there were times when I feel like it could have been a little bit stronger as a narrative. But as I said, the concept sounded interesting and I was keen to see what they do with it. And the execution is fine. It's not amazing, but I'd say it's definitely more than watchable. And I think that's largely because I really liked the characters. We have several other characters, and all of them were well written with some good performances. With regards to being festive, well, we have obviously the image of Santa Claus, we have some Christmas decorations, so it's moderately festive. It's not in your face, but there's enough Christmas in this that it definitely is considered a Christmas film rather than one that would work any time of the year. Do I recommend it? If you're curious, check it out. It may not be the most thrilling experience, but it's good enough. Jingle Smells sounded interesting. The execution is okay, the performances and characters are good, and if it sounds like something that you might enjoy, or if you're curious to see what it's like, then I'd say it might be worth checking out.